Hi, this is Krista. I think I'm live here on our Meniere's Acceptance Club, and I work with people with vestibular conditions and Meniere's disease. And a lot of times, what we deal with are these preconceptions that come with a diagnosis like Meniere's disease. And one of the biggest ones that I see is the stigma that comes from once we walk out of that doctor's office and we have a diagnosis, there's a stigma. There's this feeling that we're not like the others, we're not as healthy, and it creates this little fear. And we don't notice it's a fear right away. It shows up in sort of a vague um, anxiety around other people, this feeling of being exiled from a group of people. You can be at the table, you can have the best conversation, but there's this little nagging thought inside your head that you're never going to be as good as the other people at that table permanently. And it gets worse because we're told that this thing is incurable. And so that stigma, it what happens is that it gets in the way of recovery and a healing path. It starts with how you feel emotionally. So because we can't go farther than what we believe we can go, so we bump up against the stigma of I'm not like the others, I'm not going to be good enough, I'm never going to be like I used to be. It's not clear enough to where we can see it and deal with it. It's just this vague fear in the back of our mind, and it stops us from truly believing that we can get better. And so I wanted to hop on live. If you're on Facebook, you're seeing this live, and I just wanted to pop this thing because it's not real. The fact is that it doesn't matter what you're told. It doesn't matter what that little thought in the back of your head is saying. What matters is that you get clear on how you're feeling. You get clear on these little nagging thoughts that you bump into when you're trying to get better. And one of the best ways to do that is to see it and to put a little flashlight on it, but to do it in a way that you're not responsible for it. Kind of like if, somebody says something to you, you don't have any control about what people say to you. They just say stuff. People say stuff all the time. And that's kind of like what your thoughts do. Your thoughts are like some random stranger saying weird stuff when they don't really know you. And the way that you get past that is to see it and say, oh, looks like, that's just like somebody trying to tell me that I'm not good enough or that I don't have the capacity to get a little bit better. And the best way to just shine a little light on it is to just jot it down on a sheet of paper and look at it. And that's kind of the same way as if you were to say, all right, I see you. I see you in there working. And what that does is it tells you that it's not real. The stigma is not real. It's just a little voice that came from a little thought that probably somebody else had that was put on you. It comes from a conception or an idea in relation to things like a diagnosis and what lots of society says about having that diagnosis. So I just want to leave that with you today. Part of getting through that emotional quicksand where you wake up and you're sad, or you try to get through the day and you're sad. The way you start to get through it is to realize which thoughts in your head are BS, the same way that which things that people are telling you are BS. And then you give yourself, it feels like forgiveness. You make a pact with yourself and you say, all right, Krista, I'm going to go through this journey. I'm not going to let these things control me anymore. And part of that journey is to say, it's okay that I feel just the way I do. there's no requirement for me to be anybody else than where I am and who I am in this moment. And when you do that, it clears the playing field to where you can get up on the road and start walking toward more emotional well-being, which is required if you're going to start feeling better emotionally. So I'm going to leave that with you today. We have the 90 Days to Resiliency program coming up right after January. We're going to conquer thoughts inside of our heads. We're going to conquer anxiety. We're going to know what to do with busy schedules. We're going to know what to do with things like work and family and how you do conversations while you continue to heal emotionally. If that is something that you're interested in, and to make sure that everybody in the group gets along and that everybody's going to be comfortable, I'm having these short strategy sessions with people. If this is something that sounds like it's a path that you want to go down, it's 12 weeks working with me and 4 other people. I'm going to put a little link in the description of the video. That is how you can sign up for just a quick 30-minute strategy session. We talk about where you're at, where you want to go, what your life is like now, and then we'll see if that group is a fit for you and if you're a fit for the other people in the group. So if you want that, click the link in the description. And other than that, I want to send you off today just to remind you that you are good just the way you are. And if you find yourself getting battered by these random thoughts that come up that are not in your favor, just know that we all deal with these kinds of things, that they're not real, even though they feel real, and that there are many, many things we can do about it. So I hope you're having a good day today, and I will catch you on the next video.